Hi, I have to apologize for the quality. I'm going to be going on the other side of the room here. I did replace my girlfriend's monitor with the large TV that we have. That's why the picture is fuzzy. If I used the monitor, it'd be much clearer. But I'm doing this for a reason. Um, we have basically been paying off all our bills. We have no credit card debt. Our insurance for our cars are paid. They are. We just paid them off like 2 weeks ago for the insurance. So our insurance is good for 6 months. We don't have credit card debt. All we have as far as our bills go is our rent, our internet, and a phone card from my girlfriend's phone. Now, I did purchase some more solar panels recently. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, it says that the listing has been updated. You purchased this item. I purchased 4 100 watts more with a 30 amp charger controller. And you're probably going, well, why didn't you just buy a bunch of solar panels and a larger charger controller? I could have. This way, though, it is much cheaper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a dual charger controller and dual panel setup on my battery bank. I do have a small battery bank. Right now I only have 2 batteries. I will be getting 2 more, and I will have 2 charger controllers, and I will have 2 sets of solar panels on my 1 battery bank. Now, I don't know if you can see the price of this. 400 watts, a 30 amp charger controller, the cables, the brackets, pretty much everything you need except for your batteries and the cables to go between your batteries is right here. Now this is $408.51. Yes, it is very expensive, but if you think about a larger solar setup, 800, 900, 1,000 watts, you're looking at a lot of money. Doing it this way, where I have 2 charger controllers and a 1 battery bank, I'm saving a great deal of money. Plus, if 1 charger controller goes out, my solar will still be working. Now, we're waiting on this. I just ordered it the other day. And if you are lucky enough to get your $1,400, or if you have got your $1,400 and you're looking for a small solar setup, this is off eBay, and it was $408.51. So basically not even $100 for the solar panels, and then you have the price of the charger controller added in, plus the cables and everything you see there, for $408.51. Alright, I'm fixing to go over here. I hope the camera doesn't fade out too bad, and I hope I don't get in the way too much, and I hope you can hear me over here, because I want to talk to you real quick about if you're looking for a small solar setup, especially now. If you got this $1,400 and you're wanting a solar setup just for like emergency lights, maybe run your fridge off and on a little bit, or maybe even a deep freeze, as long as you're not running it constantly, then a small solar setup like mine, or even like this 400 watts, will work for you. Okay, let me get over here. Okay, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can still see this. This is what I look for on eBay is new Newapowa, Newapowa, 400W watts, 12 volt, monocrystalline solar panel charging kit system off grid. Now, if you type this in exactly like this in at eBay, it will bring this up. $408.51. Alright, let's go to the next picture. Now, I also purchased something else off eBay. Right here, this is on the solar panels still. These panels are 33.70 inches by 26.57 inches by 1.18 inch. So they're 33, just over 33 and a half inches tall by just over 2 feet wide, 26, almost 27 inches wide by almost inch and a half maybe. They are 100 watt, 17 volt, 5.89 amps each. Now remember, when solar panels get cold, or if they're working in the cold, they produce more power. The short circuit is 6.25 amps. The open circuit voltage is 20.23 volts. Now the solar voltage here, apparently you can go up to 1,000 volts with these panels. They also weigh 14.5 pounds, 14 and a half pounds. Here's what else I bought. This is a really good deal. This is a Flame King 100-pound propane tank, and it's $165.99. Now, a 100-pound tank weighs 80 pounds empty, so it weighs 180 pounds full. But for $165.99, that's $166. That is a really good deal on these tanks. I did purchase 2 tanks. Now here is how I'm going to have my solar array set up. And you're going to go, well, why are you going to have it set up like this? Well, in the morning, the sun is going to hit these 2 panels first thing. Now in the afternoon, when the sun is full out, most of these panels are going to get power. Now when the sun starts going around here and these panels stop working, these 2 will still be facing the sun. So setting up your panels this way, if you have more than like 4 panels, even if you only have 1 panel here and 1 here, setting it up this way will get you more sun hours. Since I already have 4, those 4 will go here. The 2 I ordered, well, the 4 I ordered, and I'll show you that again, but the 4 I ordered will go 2 on each side, and they will be slanted to get more sun. So set up this away. Your panels, if you buy 8, your panels will get more sun during the day when you really need it. It'll start charging your batteries earlier and stay charging later. Alright, here is how I'm going to hook this up. Now I am going to get more batteries. This is just a rough draft, okay? Here's the 4 sets of solar panels. 2 charger controllers. Off of 1 charger controller, off of 1 set, it's going to go to the positive on 1 battery and the negative on the other battery. Now this one will go to the negative on the same battery that this positive's on, and then it'll go to the positive on this battery. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want these batteries to balance. And of course I'm going to have more batteries. And here's my cables connecting the batteries. So I'm probably going to have 2 more batteries. When I do that, positive will be on 1, and then like on the 3rd battery will be negative. And on here, positive, and then on the 2nd battery will be negative. I may even do it on the 1st battery. I want these to balance fairly evenly. Now remember, the way these are set up, 1 charger controller is going to kick off and on quicker. The one that's facing the sun earlier and staying on later will produce power when this one won't. So this is the basic way I'm going to have it set up. But suppose you don't want 8 panels. Simple. Solar panels, charger controller, positive and negative. If you only have 1 battery. If you have 2 batteries, put your positive and your negative on a different battery. Because you're going to have to junction them anyway with positive to positive, negative to negative, if you're going with a 12-volt system. That's what I'm going with. 24 volt is different. 24 volt would be positive, then it goes over here negative, positive to negative, then negative out. But I'm going with a 12 volt system. It's easier. You can find more things that run off a 12 volt. Now remember, if you are wanting to buy solar, a small solar setup for just for emergencies, 400 watts is a really good starting point. And that is a really, really good price, especially since this has free shipping on it. Alright, I did say if we got any money whatsoever, we would get some solar. Some more. And I did tell you I would let you know why I hooked this big TV up. You see, my girlfriend is an essential worker. She has worked through this entire pandemic. They only gave her COVID pay for a couple months. So she's been working at her regular pay basically for the past year through this entire pandemic. Now, while I appreciate all essential workers, having my girlfriend be one and working through this where I have to worry about her and where she has a lot of stress, she needs a way to relax. My girlfriend does like playing games. She has wanted one thing for a very long time. We just haven't had the money. We've had to buy other things. We have bought other things. We have bought the chest freezer, the mini fridge, the camper trailer, propane tanks, gas cans, a generator. So we have bought other things instead of her getting something for herself. She did buy a pair of shoes not that long ago because she is on her feet a lot. The shoes she bought was half price off and they were $90. That wasn't something she could enjoy, that was a necessity. The reason I put this TV on the wall and have her computer hooked up to it, one, we live in a studio apartment. You have seen our apartment in some of my videos. It's really small. Two, I told her she needed to get something she wanted, that she has been wanting for a long time. So she plans on buying a PlayStation 4. And you're going, well, why doesn't she buy a PS5? One, the cost. A PlayStation 4 is still way, way cheaper. And the only game she really knows for it is Final Fantasy 15. So, on her next paycheck, because our rent is already paid this month, all we have is internet, and we have that money put back for our internet and for her phone card. So on her next paycheck, she's going to buy herself a PlayStation 4. And it will be hooked up here. Her computer is right here. The PlayStation 4 will fit on top of her computer and plug into the TV. Do I have any feelings about her getting something that expensive that will not go for, the home or survival or, a necessity? Absolutely not. She deserves to have something. I have no problems with her buying something for herself, even if it costs $400. She is worth it. But I did purchase another small solar setup. Now the thing is, if I would have found this before I bought my other one, my first solar setup that is in my videos was actually two solar setups, two different solar kits. It was a 300 watt kit and a 100 watt kit. That was way more money than just this. So, if you are lucky enough to get that $1,400 or more, or if you've already got it and you want solar, this is a good system, it's a good setup. And instead of buying a huge system with a big charger controller, you could buy two of these for $817.02. But remember, you still have your batteries, you still have your fuses, you still have your power inverter. So don't expect just to get solar, expect to run stuff immediately. Now, can we run 12 volt stuff or 12 volt coffee pot off of this? Absolutely, because I already have batteries. I have a cigarette lighter hooked up to my charger controller out there. I have another cigarette lighter that I can hook directly up to the batteries. So if I wanted to power our coffee pot, our 12 volt coffee pot, I could do it. Now, would I try to power a 12 volt coffee pot off of this? Off of that charger controller? Absolutely not. The other charger controller I have from my other system is much better than this one. Now this is a PWM charger controller. It's not an MTTP. It's PWM. But for 400 watts of solar, the cables, the connectors, the brackets, and right here, you're probably wondering what this is. These two cables here go from the charger controller to your battery. Now on these cables, there is a fuse holder, and I believe it takes a square car fuse like you use in your vehicle. I don't know if you can see it right there. Unfortunately, this is really blurry because I'm trying to enlarge this. But a car fuse plugs in there, and that is your fuse going from your charger controller to your battery. You know, I do a lot of rambling on my videos, and unfortunately, with this monitor hooked up, it's going to be a lot harder for me to get clear video. I do apologize for that. But like I said, my girlfriend has worked her ass off during this entire year, and she only got COVID paid for like 4 months. So basically she got hazard pay for 4 months. And she's still going to work well, not every day. She does take a couple days off, if possible, a week. But every week she's going to work. And I understand how a lot of people feel going through this. I hate the fact that she's risking her life basically for less money than some people in some states flipping hamburgers. But she chose to do it. She chooses to do it because she cares for people. And because the way she is, I want her to enjoy life. I want her to enjoy her time off. And if it means my videos start getting a little worse off than they were, that's what I will do. For any essential worker out there, thank you. Thank you for risking your life. Thank you for taking care of other people. And thank you for having to deal with all of this you deal with. If you got your money and you want solar, remember, this is not the only cost that a solar system needs. You have to have a DC to AC power inverter. The best one I found was on eBay. It's a pure sine wave inverter. I have it in my videos. We bought that for my girlfriend's computer. It is a pure sine wave. It was around $160, I believe. You have to have fuses from your batteries to your inverter. You have to have batteries. You have to have wire, heavy gauge wire, connecting your batteries together. So for a 400 watt solar kit, this would probably be half the cost of what it will cost you to get a 400 watt solar setup. Even if you buy the cheap Walmart batteries that are $70 each, 2 of them has $140. And then you have the charger controller that's $160. That's $300 right there. Then you have the wires. You have the crimper, you have the terminal ends, you have the fuse holder, you have the fuses. Now if you're just using nothing but 12 volt, if you have an adapter that lets you plug into a cigarette lighter to power your laptop, or which I do have an adapter that plugs into my car cigarette lighter for my laptop. We also ordered my girlfriend one for her laptop. So if you have an adapter like that, you can plug it straight off your batteries. You can run that off your load. Now, a lot of these do not work unless they're hooked up to a battery. So you have to have a battery. Even if it's a car battery, if you're just running stuff during the day off your load, like a laptop or charging a phone, and that's all you need it for, then this is fine. This is more than enough. I mean, if all you're doing is charging your laptop and running your, charging your cell phone, something half this size will probably work for you. But if you want to run things like a microwave, a fan, a computer for long term, a fridge, a chest freezer, this will be the bare minimum for you. Once again, I apologize about the quality. We have one light that's completely burnt out. The light fixture is bad. We have another light that has two bulbs in it. One side's not working properly. If I turn this light on over here that I mounted on the wall, you can't see hardly anything because of the reflection. So I have to apologize for the quality. Once again, if you're wanting to get something a little bit bigger, think about this. On one battery pack, say you have 4 batteries, 3 to 4 to 6 batteries. I'd say anywhere from 3 to 6. If you purchase 2 of these, that's only 800 watts of solar. But that also doesn't need a very expensive charger controller. Because you're looking at an 80 amp charger controller. 60 at bare minimum. And to be on the safe side, I'd go with at least a 70 or 80. And those are very, very expensive. In my case, because it is a small system, it makes more sense for me to have one battery pack, 2 charger controllers, and 2 different sets of solar to keep my batteries up and topped off. Remember, basically all solar is doing is recharging your batteries. Unless you're running something off the load. I've shown that in my videos, one of my other videos. If you have a small inverter, you can hook it straight up to the load. But a 30 amp charger controller kicks out basically no more than 10 amps out the load, and that's if you're lucky. A charger controller like this, I wouldn't try to pull 10 amps through the load. 7, possibly. I did say if we figured a way out to get more solar, I would. Like I said, if you have debt, credit card debt, pay off one card at a time. I mean, I understand you may be paying on 3 cards, but try to double up on one card. Get it paid off, then pay off the other one, then pay off the last one. then save money. When we go to the store, if I see a penny laying on the ground in the parking lot, I pick that penny up. It goes into our change jar. Every little bit helps. Every little bit adds up. Now, I apologize for, basically you're sitting here listening to me ramble. $408.51 off eBay with free shipping. 400 watts of solar is a good small solar setup. 800 watts is much better, but 400 watts is a good small setup if you're not trying to run a bunch of stuff. I've already shown my 400 watt setup can run our little mini fridge and our little chest freezer. Now if I ran nothing else, and I have timers on our deep freeze and chest freezer, so they wouldn't kick on and off as much, it wouldn't be an issue. 400 watts is enough to run a lot of fridges, because your fridge doesn't kick off and on all the time. We have ran an air conditioner off 400 watts when the air conditioner was on low, and we ran that for up to 6 hours, and that was on my 2 batteries, 400 watts of solar. But once again, it depends on your air conditioner. It depends on what size power inverter you have. $408.51. If you're wanting to get solar, don't just jump in head first, because there's a lot more to it than just buying some panels and a charger controller. There's a lot of extra expense. Batteries, inverter, cables, terminal ends for your cables, a wire crimper to if you're making your own cables, heat shrink, all kinds of expense. Fuses, fuse holders. Think of this as the bare minimum of your expense. Alright, I'm fixing to go, but if you did get money and you're interested in solar, even a small setup for emergencies, right here. If you want a little bit more and you can afford it, get 2 of them. Just hook up both charger controllers. Now both charger controllers can actually be hooked up to the same post if that's what you want. Positive on one, negative on the other. But I want each charger controller on different batteries. Positive on one, negative on the other, then positive on the second one, negative on the first one, so on. Once I add extra batteries, I will space them better. But for 800 watts, $417, and I figure 418 or whatever, 408.51. So I figure $418, not 400, but $818. Sorry about that. $818 for 800 watts, 2 charger controllers, and all the wiring you need to go with it, except for what you have to hook your batteries up together with. This is a really good deal. It's a really good price. Now, is it the best charger controller? Of course not. It's a PWM controller. So, even knowing that, for the price of this setup, with the cables, the connecting cables, the brackets, the cables for your solar setup, the cables to go from your charger controller to your battery, the cables to go from your battery to your solar panels, all this comes with this for less than $410. Less than. And that's with free shipping. Anyway, I'm fixing to go. I apologize for the quality. Like I said, my camera does not pick up well on this big TV set here. But because my girlfriend is so important and she does need to relax, and she does risk her life going to work every day, and she has since it started, I felt that it was time she got something she wanted. And so she's going to get a PlayStation 4 next week. And I have no problems whatsoever, because we have no bills now other than rent, internet, and her phone card for her cell phone. Because everything else is paid off. Now, do I have a lot of money to sink into the camper trailer and my van? Of course I do. In fact, I did purchase some stuff to help me work on the camper. Some sealant for the roof. But it's raining. I can't go out there and do the roof with it raining. Her happiness, knowing she goes and risks her life because she's an essential worker, means a lot to me. And if we got absolutely nothing else except for her PlayStation 4 that she's getting, I'd be happy with that. But right here, I don't know if you type in New Pawa. I think if you type that in right there, this set will come up on eBay. They have two sets. This one and another one right now, which is, to me is the same thing. But that one's $500 and something. This one's much cheaper for the same thing. Alright, I'm fixing to go. If you're an essential worker, thank you for all the work you do. If you're a cop, thank you for the work you do. I know people are ragging on cops right now, and they really shouldn't. I'm one of the people out there should hate cops the most. But I understand. We have to have police. And trust me, I have my reasons why I should hate cops. But we need them. If you're a cop, thank you. Ambulance driver, hospital worker, if you work in a group home or nursing home, thank you. And all you pansy asses that keep complaining about everything, that live in your mama's basement, shut the hell up. All you little pricks who want us to pay for your college, go screw yourself. It's not our job. I didn't fuck your mama. You ain't my brat, so I shouldn't pay for you. And as far as the border, and I'm going to bring this up, if an American citizen took their kid in the middle of the desert and left them there, that parent would be locked up for years. The U.S. needs to start demanding, plain and simple, that Mexico and these other countries turn over these parents for prosecution that sent their kids here unaccompanied. If it's good enough for a citizen of this country, it should damn well be good enough for a person that shouldn't even be in this country. If you send your kids with coyotes, if you send your kids by themselves, you should be charged by our laws, locked up, and have the key thrown away. And you never see the light of day again. In this country, we have laws. If a person did that to their child in this country, the parent would most likely be in prison and they would lose their child forever. It's time Joe Biden and the stinking Democrats start making people abide by our laws. Alright, I got off track. Solar, if you want it, here's a cheap set for you. If you can afford to get it. Remember, this is basically half the cost of what it's going to take for you to get a complete solar set. Alright, I'm fixing to go. I have to get in the way here. I apologize for the quality and the length of this video. Alright, bye.